So let's talk about power starts and what comes with that and how the money kind of comes in. So I think that I have been, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. I have been on the Court of Sales in Mary Kay every year that I have been in Mary Kay except one. And that year we won a Cadillac. So, and that was my third year, I think. So first and second year, and then every year since. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a power start and also how that works with Court of Sales. Okay, so one of the rings that I won was this one, and this was the anniversary ring, the 40th anniversary pink tourmaline ring. It's beautiful. I get more compliments on this ring than any other ring except for this one. And I love this ring. Love this ring. The great news is I don't know how many rings I have until I started taking the cash, because I would buy my kids a laptop every summer, or we would go on a quick vacation, or I would do something for their, one year I helped them buy a trumpet, just things like that. So you can take the cash. All right. So let's talk about power starts and how that looks. So a perfect start in Mary Kay is holding 3 appointments, 3 group selling appointments within 2 weeks, preferably having 5 people at each appointment. So that's 15 faces in 15 days. And then there's a power start in Mary Kay, and that is doing 30 faces in 30 days, which breaks down to about 6 classes in 4 weeks. So it's not a lot of time. I think people overcomplicate how much time is actually involved in growing your business. When you are purposefully booking, you can be on Court of Sales, you can be in any form of leadership that you like. All right. And a lot of times people will put it on the back burner because something happens. And I'm telling you that if you will just work through things, and you'll always have money coming in. So when crisis does hit, you still have the reorders coming in. I have a lot of people that'll go work overtime. That's a one-time deal. Whereas if you go hold a party and you gain a couple of customers, that's going to be several hundred to thousands of dollars every year in reorders. Okay. And so a power start, if you calculate your face average, what you're going to do is you're going to take your first 30 faces and you're going to add up your sales, and then you're going to divide it by how many faces you saw. All right, that's going to be your face average. So in your first month, if you sell $3,000, then your face average is going to be $100. Okay, one party is not enough to have a face average. You really need to have at least 30 to 60 faces, preferably 90 to 100 faces, before you really understand what your face average is. The face average has to do with what products you show and your ability to replicate yourself over and over again. All right, people will purchase products from you because they like you, not because, oh my gosh, it's such a great deal, okay? And so being on purpose with booking is going to help. So if you calculate your sharing average, because you want to do both, you want to sell and you want to build your team at the same time. It's like a rowboat. If you only have one oar in the water and you're rowing, you're going to go in a circle. And then if you put the other oar in the water and you take the other one out, you go in a circle. Whereas if you have both going, you're going to go forward. So it's really important to know that in 30 faces, you could have 5 to 6 team members and $1,500 in cash. Okay, I like to think of team members as your future income, and that's kind of like a 401k. Not using the same terminology, but it's your future income. Your team is going to pay you 3 and 4 months ahead, so you might not see a ton of profit for team building commissions for anywhere from 30 to 90 days. Okay, so this business takes patience, and it takes stick-to-itiveness. So you just have to know what your goal is. You really just have to know what your goal is. Mine was, I was not going back to the rat race. I was not going back to putting my kids in daycare. I was not going to do that because my kids would have been in daycare for 12 hours a day. So, and school, they would have aftercare. And so I never would get to see my family. So it might not be about the time that you have right now. It's about the time that you want later. And trust me, later is when you really want that time. They don't remember anything before the age of 7. They don't. You think they do, but they don't. My kids are in their 20s. So anyway, okay, so one power start. So what you can expect from one power start is about $3,000 in sales. So 30 faces is going to be about $3,000 in sales. On the low end, it would be $2,000, but I mean, hey, it's an extra $3,000. And you can expect when you share the opportunity, so you work with your director to share the opportunity in your first couple of power starts, then you should expect to have 3 to 4 team members, right? So you could have your first red jacket promotion in your first month. And I have a lot of consultants that do it in their first week. So when you have 2 power starts, again, you're coupling on sales. So that's, another 3,000 in sales, and you should have 5 to 7 active team members. So you're still adding 3 to 4 a month. When you do three power starts, you could be a future sales director with 8 to 10 team members, another 3,000. So now you have made what, 4,500 in 3 months. What could you do with 4,500? What could you do with 4,500? And I'm not saying that you're not going to have some zero shows or some people that say they're going to sign up and then don't and they ghost you. I'm saying if you stick with the plan and you work with intention, this is what you can see. And everyone's going to have different results, but if you will work on purpose, your results are going to be better than those who just want to check the box and say, well, I did that, Heather, and I did that, Heather, and I did that, Heather. 4 to 6 power starts, you can be a sales director that is driving a Mary Kay car. And so, get excited in, up to 4 months, you could be having a car in your driveway. What would you do with the car that you have now? Do you already own it? Could you sell it for cash and drive a new car and have less on the mechanics, the keeping it up? I mean, because the older your car is, the more upkeep you're going to need. Whereas if you have a new car in Mary Kay, it's a new car every 2 years, and you just keep doing the same. So being on purpose. I mean, it has to be on purpose. Sitting down, we used to call, and now you can easily text. And I do a combination of calling and texting, leaving messages, because I want them to hear my voice. I want them to hear, if it's a referral, I want them to hear that I'm a real person. I'll send a picture. And so I just want to give you some tips on the bookings. Okay, so first off, know when you're going to book. And second off, double book. And here's what I mean by that. And I do this all the time. So people will disappoint you. Numbers never will. At the last minute, someone's going to cancel or can cancel because, somebody got sick or someone had to pull overtime or they missed their flight or whatever. So understand, or maybe even just bad weather. So maybe just understand that there's going to be things that are going to be out of your control. And so it's important to use that time wisely. So double book. So if you have 2 appointments at the same time, one is going to hold and one is probably going to cancel or postpone. And so what I do a lot is, and if you're on my team and you already know this and been blessed by this, it's awesome. You can dovetail, which, to me, that's just complicated. I give away appointments. I give away appointments to my team. I give away appointments to my people that are moving up or to my new consultants all the time. And, so if I have 2 appointments and let's say, I book it anyway for me because I can give away appointments and I can give, even if I double and triple book, and there have been times where I've done that and all of them have stuck, I'll call some team members and say, hey, do you want to party tonight? Hey, do you want to party tonight? Hey, do you want to party tonight? And they're good to go. They're ready. And so I don't tell the hostess that someone else is coming. I just send them. And it works. And my team members are selling and holding appointments and getting appointments booked, future appointments, and they are, and they're building their teams. So they're working it full circle. Do make sure you do that. Okay, so booking intentionally. contact at least 10 people per day to schedule 2. And that can be done through text, but I only want you to count the booking or the booking attempt, if they respond back. Okay, so if you contact someone and you're like, hey Susie, this is Heather with Mary Kay. Joanne gave me your information. She thought you would enjoy some pampering and a free lipstick. And she writes back, oh yes, I would love to have a free lipstick and a pampering appointment. Then that's a check. That's a yes. Okay, and you book her, and that's one booking, and that's one attempt. Whereas if you send someone a text or you call and you just leave a message or they don't respond back, then that's an attempt, but it doesn't count unless they respond back. So you either have to get a yes or a no. Does that make sense? And sometimes people will drop the ball and they'll respond back and then they'll forget to respond back again. And that counts, but it only counts if you're in communication with them, not just throwing out a message. Okay, you want to have some kind of communication going. And they might even say, hey, call me on Thursday or call me back at this time. And that's when you got to set your, if you have one of those little echo dots, you set your echo dot or your SIRI. Not going to say it because it'll start going off. Something, or your electronic calendar for a memo. Learn how to do that. And, worst case scenario, get a Post-it note and put it in your book of when you're supposed to call them. All right. You make 10 phone call attempts, every day with a goal of booking at least 2. And, and then in that 10, you also want to, have a booking of 1 interview. Okay. So if you will go to every party, and Mary Kay always said that at every party, there's a Mary Kay consultant. Which one of you is it going to be? They're going to all start staring at each other and you're going to have a future appointment. And we'll talk about future appointments and second appointments, but you want to, I find it more effective if you can schedule them for just a color appointment, even if it's just by themselves. And I'll tell you why on all that in another video. But I like that. And worst case scenario, I will do a coffee. Okay. But I need to get in front of them fast. So let's talk about Court of Sales and how that happens. So the National Court of Sales is 40,000 retail. So you really just need to track your retail number in your InTouch. And how to do that is to go into your at a glance and you look at the number that says retail. Isn't that fun? Your retail and your wholesale number are going to be kind of different because Mary Kay will count and sometimes offer double credit, or if they have a flash sale or something, they'll offer the full credit. And so that will help with your Queen's Court of Sales. All right. So again, you want to have, in your first year, you want to have 1 to 3 bookings a week, just to get acclimated with the products. That's where you're going to start feeling your confidence. That's where you're going to start feeling, your customer service. After the 3rd power start, you're going to start experiencing reorders. And so that's really great to have reorders in your business because that can double your money. You can work the same amount per week and have reorders. I generally have at least $300 to $400 in reorders every week. $300 to $400 in reorders every week. And sometimes I have more. Sometimes I'll have, upwards of $1,000 in reorders. And these are from customers that I've just been servicing. And, we'll talk about customer service tips and all that too. Okay. So I just want to break down the Court of Sales and how easy it really is and how simple the process is. So I have this little sheet, and it's kind of an old sheet, but you can update it with products that are about the same price. Okay. But the secret to Court of Sales is having 40 rock solid customers. Okay. 40. So glad you can't see my cat. So you want to get them on a lipstick and a lip liner. You want to make sure that they are on the Miracle Set because, if they order 2 of those per year, that's $190. Microdermabrasion sets are $55 each. Firming eye cream or the reordering the eye cream, whatever, eye gels. Oil-free eye makeup remover. This is a big item for me. And satin lips. And so initially when you meet them, if you have someone who purchases a roll-up bag, you can bet your bottom dollar that she is going to be a really great customer. And the secret's going to be in the follow-up for everybody else. So We have foundation primer, and we have concealer, and we have foundations, and powder foundations and translucent powder. We have the cleansing brushes, or we have the brush sets. We have a compact where they can get a whole look. Liquid brushes for the liquid foundation, mineral powder brushes, eye primers, and then some color. And so if you concentrate on working with them to have two to three reorders of the Miracle Set, okay, maybe one reorder, they purchase the microdermabrasion set and then have a reorder of a microdermabrasion set. Foundations, making sure that they like their foundations, making sure you're upselling a foundation and doing either the foundation primer, which I love, or doing a Scandinavia's finishing spray. A compact, selling a compact. Girls, you can even sell one of those big pro palettes. Those are going to be over $300 filled. And if you get one customer on that with a Miracle Set, that's $500 right there. Miracle Set, microdermabrasion, pro palette filled, and a foundation. That's $500 right there. So it's giving excellent customer service. It's under promising and over delivering. So if you say to someone, I will drop that products off for you today, then it's delivering it today. Putting it in a Mary Kay bag and maybe just tying it closed with a little tulle ribbon or some curly ribbon, or maybe getting a sticker and putting their name on the outside. Throwing in some samples and maybe even offering them a discount if they purchase the samples within full-size samples within 7 days. Maybe a 20% discount on anything that they purchase on the inside. In addition, I do all kinds of little things that really make up for the big things, and then anything that comes over is going to be a blessing. So you can have 40 rock solid customers at $1,000 each, or you can have 80 customers at $500 each. That might be more your deal and more easily accessible. But think about getting excited about just servicing some customers, having that residual income, and making an extra 15 to 20 grand a year just by selling the product. You can sell more than that, absolutely. I am all about just helping to build my team as well, because I can't take care of all the customers, but I might recruit somebody who maybe some of my customers, are good friends with them, and I'd like to start them off well by, saying, hey, why don't you take care of your friends and family? And, this is who was at that party. And I do keep that information just to make sure that they're, if something happens. But oh my gosh, get excited about getting in front of your customers, even after the initial time of the facial, doing a follow-up facial, even in 6 months, just showing her some things, doing on-the-go appointments, delivering products in person. If you can deliver them at work, I love to deliver at work, because I'll make it all really sassy, and I'll put it in a really pretty shopping bag with tissue paper that I've sprayed with fragrance. And I come in and there's all kinds of curly ribbon over that, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking for Susie. And they're like, Susie, you have a gift. You have a delivery. You have a special delivery. And then I'm able to meet their friends and get information off of from those ladies, and try to book them later, or try to even say, hey, Susie, what about getting those girls together and you can get some more hostess credit? What do you think? So, or even, when I deliver products, I always try to ask for a referral. So even if it's someone, I say, oh my gosh, is there any way, I'm in a contest right now, and it could be whatever contest is going on right now. Right now we have the cruise. And so, oh my gosh, I'm trying to earn this cruise by the end of the month. And the highest compliment you can pay me is to refer me to your friends. And flip over a card or give her an index card and say, hey, if you write down 5 names and numbers today, I'll give you a gift. And it could be something that's discontinued. So, and then, when you're doing customer service calls and you're calling people to check up on them, a lot of times I do want to just go to their voicemail, or if they're on an iPhone, I can voice text them a message and just say, hey girl, I was just wanting to check on you and see if you needed any products right now. And I'll look at their card, do they need cleanser or mascara? What do they need? If they didn't get something, if they didn't get mascara from me, 2 months ago, maybe they need mascara now, and I can look at that card and keep track. So, it's just little things like that. How would you want to be treated as a customer? We're women, and so we like all the frilly stuff and the freebies and the fun stuff. And I like to deliver my products in person if I can, because I like to have control over how many samples go inside that bag. I'm pretty generous with my samples, because if I have the samples and I'm just tossing them in, like eyeshadow samples and lipstick samples, or maybe I'll look and see what product samples they don't have, like the facial peel or foundation primer, or charcoal mask, or something that they don't have. So and then always make sure that you are sharing the opportunity. And this is why, and I'll do another video on sharing, but this is why, if you can if you can have a customer, if she signs up and joins your team, then she's going to stay with you. And then all of a sudden she knows all these people. Think about how many people you know, and then think about how many people you would have introduced your consultant to, probably 3 to 5. And as a consultant, you're like reaching out, you're making your list of 150 because you're getting married on Oprah Winfrey's budget. So you're making your list of 150. So Mary Kay is going to be very generous in the compensation of your commission check, that when you share it with another person. And who knows, maybe she's, with this $20,000 a year, I mean, I was able to pay for both kids' braces. I was able to, we bought a car for both kids. And then, we save, because I have a car. And so there's just lots of things. Trumpets are anywhere from $1,200 to $3,500 depending. And I had to buy 2. And this is just things that really helped and motivated me. And then, meeting people, wearing your name tag, meeting people out and about when you're out and about. If you have your name tag on, it's a whole lot easier. And, I would go to school events with my name tag on, and someone would say, "Oh, are you with Mary Kay?" I'm like, "Oh gosh, I've got to take that off. Oh, thank you for noticing," or something, and just kind of play it down and then get distracted, forget to take it off and hand them something. So, it's not a big deal. Just go with it. I've sold hundreds of dollars every time I would go do baseball games or baseball practice or soccer practice. Or if I was waiting, going to a Friday night game, I'd always see somebody and they're like, "Oh, Heather, I need da-da-da-da." And I'm like, "Okay, hey, no problem. I can bring it to you on Monday. Is that cool?" So when I bring it, that it would always be in this really great little package with lots of little doodads in it, and they would get excited. So just remember, and being kind doesn't cost anything extra. Being a woman of your word doesn't cost anything extra. And believe me, they will refer you out. When, most of my really good customers have come from my really good customers. So, just get excited about being a star consultant and about achieving the National Court of Sales and picking up your ring. And have you looked at the rings? Oh my gosh, they're beautiful. There's usually 3 choices every year that you can choose from, and you pick it up at seminar, and it's absolutely beautiful. And it's done in this Cinderella manner where you get to walk on stage in a beautiful dress and act like a princess. So it's just really exciting. So I'm going to save this sheet, and I will actually see if I can find like a graphic sheet, like in Excel or something, that maybe it will help you cross-reference what customers are on what, and maybe you can get samples to do that, or just to make up oh my gosh, girl, I need to do 5 on-the-go appointments this week, and I have to share this product. This is the product of the week, and I'd love to share it with you. Just don't do the same person every week. And it could be, microdermabrasion or satin hands, and it could be done on the hands. It doesn't have to be done on the face. It's like, "Hey, can I stop by for 10 minutes after work? While you're getting ready. Promise not to take more than 10 minutes. And those are on-the-go appointments, and that's how you bond with people, and learning their name and learning their kids' names and knowing where they live and things like that. Because when you run into them outside of that, they will, and they're with somebody, they're like, "Oh, that's my Mary Kay lady. Oh, that's my Mary Kay. Oh, yeah. Do you have a book?" And so it just, they get excited when they see you. Okay. So get excited about being on the Court of Sales in your first year by selling the products that rock. selling the product. I mean, if you have a customer on VolueFirm, you can do it even better. And this doesn't even take into consideration that. What if you had 5 VolueFirm customers? I have about 10 VolueFirm customers. And so, that's a $205 purchase for a box. And they have a tendency to reorder the box. A lot of times with the box, I'll say, hey, did you want an extra firming solution or firming serum half price? Just so that they don't run out of that and they get it. And that just kind of boosts everything up. And I don't mind if I'm already giving them something on a really big sale. If I give it to them at half off, I've lost nothing because it's all a reorder. So, I hope that makes sense. You want to get them on skincare and you want to get them on color. And sometimes you're going to have really great color customers. I have color customers that buy $500 and $600 a year from me. And I have skincare customers that buy $500 and $600 a year from me. So, and I probably have a good, I probably have a good 20 that spend about $800 to $1,000 with me every year. So, so get excited about holding appointments, because that's where you're going to find your customers, and wearing your name tag, because you're going to also find customers that way. You're going to find people who have quit their Mary Kay businesses and they've left their customers stranded. And, if that happens to ever happen to you, or you need to take a break, just talk to your recruiter or talk to me, and I'm sure that we can work something out while you take a break. But, with your customers, so they don't lose their satisfaction. So with you can keep that up. And they love, love, love when you take care of them. I've had people that for whatever reason have moved or whatever, and I've been given customers. So I service customers in Austin. I service customers in New Mexico. I service customers in Washington State, in Tennessee, in Pennsylvania, in Florida. I'm trying to think where else. Oklahoma. So North Carolina, Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama, and Arizona. I think that's it. Chicago, Illinois. I have one, I think, in Ohio. In Illinois. So just think about that, and get excited about holding appointments, because that's going to be what makes you the extra. Because sometimes we get distracted with, oh my gosh, I only made $100. Okay, but you only made $100 in 2 hours. That's $50 an hour, y'all, and you're still able to go to your son's t-ball tournament, or you're still able to go to dinner with your husband for your anniversary, and then pay for that dinner, get cheap dinner for $100. But I'm just saying, put things in perspective, and learn to stick with something so that you can grow, and you can build your team, and you can teach your team how to do this, because they may need to put braces on their kids, or I have medical conditions with both my kids, with one of my kids, and it's things like that. So anyway, and then also don't forget to buy your husband or significant other something special every once in a while with your Mary Kay money. It keeps them excited about your business. You can also do the same thing with your kids. I used to have a little kitty jar, and I used to put money in it. I'd put $5 in every time I sold, or every time I went to a party and I sold $200 or $300. I don't remember. Sometimes I changed it. I'd put $5 in the fund, and that would be, go to the kids, for them to go to the Lego store. Now they're 20, so we don't have to do that. So, just think of ways, and I am great with working with people one-on-one to help get you to your goals, and so I'd love to work with you. So, so get excited about getting your 10 calls every day and checking them off, and getting your bookings, getting your 2 bookings every day, and your 1 booking every day for team building. Okay, y'all have a great day.